Well, hello everyone. Jen Rulon here with jenrulon.com. I am with one of my OGs, my original gangstas, Anna Voss. Anna has been with me. Anna was with me as in the triathlon space for off and on for many years, and not only have we had a coach-athlete relationship. Now I truly consider her as one of my dearest friends that I can always reach out to her and just be like, I need help. Or like, she's always very open. And so Anna, thanks for jumping on and talking with me about our journey together, because it was such a beautiful journey together. So Anna, you've done 14 Ironmans. How many Ironmans have you done?
10 Ironmans.
10 Ironmans
and 170.3. And that is it. Haven't done nothing else.
And that's okay. That's plenty. But we had to figure it out. You've done 5 races with me. So 70.3 Ironman, 2012 Arizona, 2014 Texas, 2015 Texas, and 2018 Arizona. You are married. You have a wonderful, amazing husband. Ralphie is what we call him. Ralph's been super supportive in my journey as well, with equipment, but just everything. Like, he's always been.
He has been very supportive with all the general people, I will say.
He does. He
Everybody has a Wahoo or a head wheel from him. So.
That's true. That is true. And then obviously you have 2 beautiful fur babies that I know you call them bad, but they're your fur babies. You're going to do what you want with them. So, so thanks for jumping on. So, if there's anything you want to add right now about how you started or what? Yes,
because this is a funny story for people that are listening to me. I'm not from Texas. Really? I'm from Argentina. So Argentine people are truly believers on themselves. So I was watching the 2010 Ironman World Championship on TV. That was December. And I was with my husband, Ralphie, and I said, oh, that is doable. I can do that. And that is when I was, Chrissy Willington was going like as hard as she could, on the bike. And he looked at me and he said, oh my gosh, you had to be crazy. That is for crazy people. Plus, he pointed out, you don't know how to swim, you don't bike, and you don't run. So I was like, well, it's okay. I wouldn't do it next year in 2011, but give me to 2012 and I do it. And he thought, that was an Argentine comment. But the very next weekend, we went to, I'm going to do this thing. So we went to Transition Area, which is a store that is no longer open in San Antonio. And there it was, Jen Rulon working the front desk. And I think I just wanted to see equipment. Of course, I wanted to buy all the equipment I needed to do a triathlon. And you mentioned something about swimming. And I said, well, I don't know how to swim. Will you coach me? And you said, oh, sure. But I really think, and I always tell this to people, that
I love this
you
story.
saw I wasn't a good swimmer for an Ironman. Not like I had no freaking clue on how to swim.
Clue,
and so that, but this is one thing about you. You were always very positive. You were never negative. Although long story short, so we met in February 2011 for our first swim and Lifetime Fitness. And you told me to go and swim a lane. And I look at you and I was like, well, I don't really know how to swim. And you were like, well, give it a go. And I remember I didn't even swim a quarter of a lane. No. And you stopped me and you made me come back. And you said, well, Anna. And I was looking at your eyes and you were trying to remain hopeful. And you said, well, maybe we can do something smaller this year, maybe like an indoor triathlon. Thinking, this girl is going to drown right in front of my eyes. And I said, no way, Jose, I already paid $350 American for 70.3 Longhorn in Austin in October. And you were like, okay. so you were very realistic and you say, well, you didn't say you're pretty bad, but you say, well, you will have to swim so much to get there. Like you will have to put all the work is necessary to don't drown in Austin. and we did it, we did it. So that is something I did like about working with you. You were very positive. You always give me hopes, you wanted to keep the dream alive, but always you were realistic. Like, I mean, to get there, you have to work because it doesn't come natural.
Yeah. I still remember, like, you were like, well, I can't swim. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're fine. And then, like you said, we went to the gym and I'm like, oh, she really can't swim.
Well, I mean, where I come from, we don't have that many pools. It's nothing.
No, you don't.
It doesn't, that you really do. But I was very committed and I really wanted to do it. And I did work very hard. And then, hey, in October, we were there at the start line of Longhorn and I swim like nothing. I got out of the water with no problem and it was good.
Did. And it's funny and it's interesting you say that because here I am in Costa Rica and I've had a handful of people saying, hey, can you teach me how to swim? And I'm like, what?
I know.
Like what? Like you can't go out there, but they go play in the water, but they actually don't know how to swim. So I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Yes.
So
and I think, here you have a lot of resources in the US, you have pools all over. But in other countries,
100%.
You don't have that kind of resources, or it's very expensive to belong to a club to do that. So it doesn't come as easy for people to go and swim. But still, it's not my favorite thing to do, but it needs to get done so you can finish Ironman. So.
Exactly. And here you are, 10-time Ironman triathlete who didn't know how to swim. That's incredible. I mean, if that doesn't show your grit and your determination, I don't know what does, that's amazing. So, so let me ask you, what has been your favorite race and why?
I think Ironman Texas 2014. It was, I feel, one of my great races.
I remember that.
I just think because it was the second race, so it's a lot of progress you do from your first Ironman to second. Although I have to say, I usually wouldn't recommend what I did to other people because I had no experience. So we went from nothing to a half Ironman to an Ironman. I don't even know what an Olympic on a sprint triathlon look like. We never done one of those.
Right.
I think it was a lot for the body, but I think your second Ironman is so much progress from the first one.
Sure.
I think it was, even the first one wasn't bad, but the second one was so much faster. And I saw, I do have a thing for endurance, which I really do. Because I became very good at doing this thing with no experience. But so I think that was very good. But also, I think we were talking last year I have been sick for a while and I couldn't train properly. And I knew that. And I really don't like to show up to races that I'm not properly trained because I think it's disrespectful. I mean, you have to do your very best to get there and give it your best go. I don't believe in asset to get one more. I'm that mentality.
Right.
So anyway, I think, but that I needed to get it done to go back to my old self. So that was also fulfilling Ironman Arizona last year. Because I knew I was going to suffer. I wasn't physically well prepared to do it. Nobody's fault. I was sick, but mentally it was such a win. I was so happy. Happy during the whole event, which when you do so many Ironmans, you lose that. You are never happy. You are very competitive to yourself. You pick yourself apart, you lose that happiness of those people that finish in like almost 17 hours and they cross the finish line. They won the thing. You don't have that. You are super fast and still you are so unhappy. It's just crazy. Right. So that last year was a good one. It wasn't a fast one, but it was a good one.
It was a good one. Yeah, I remember seeing you cross the finish line. I was like, she looks good. You look just like you were like content.
I can tell you
No. No, we won't talk about that. We've all had those worst ones.
No, I mean, I never have a DNF, but it's some races that I don't think they're bad, but they are teachable moments. I
100%.
think you knew in advance what was wrong, and you dig yourself in a hole. And I take them that as a teachable moment.
Was it a Texas one? Yeah. I knew exactly. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Because sometimes it's what you do. You get so obsessed with something.
Yes.
Which is not a good thing. And you run yourself through a hole, and you know you're in a hole. Yeah. But you have to like go and suffer. And I still was a fast race, but I mean, I knew it was a teachable moment. And things have changed after that.
Yeah. And I think, we talked about that, like before we jumped on and started recording, like we talked about, like, I think for me, I was so obsessed with Ironman and the race and everything that it got to a point where it's like, this is not healthy for me anymore. Like, this is not good. So I get it. Yeah. Very good. So then, well, I guess you sort of answered that, because I was going to ask, why did you choose me as your coach? But
because you were so cute. And then you say, I help you to swim. And I was like, she has no clue what she's saying yes to. I thought, hey, she wants to go for it. I'm with her. No, but all kidding aside, after that first, oh my gosh, she can swim moment. We had a good partnership. So I think that is very important when you find a coach. You need to find somebody that suits your personality, Some people need to be coached in person. Other people can do it online like we do. Some people need somebody to, hold their hands all the way.
Right.
Other people are fine, So I think we found a happy medium for us.
We did.
So that was good. And I'm motivated, I do the work, and then you put work and also like like if I'm struggling or whatever, we have good communication, and then 100%. You can modify, so it was many things. It wasn't just that you say yes to teach me how to swim. It was right. It was a good match. And I mean, I know many people wanted to also take an athlete that has no experience to do an Ironman.
Right.
Many people will have said that.
Yeah. And I think you and Jeff and Jill have really, like, you taught me about coaching. Like you taught, like you guys stuck with me for, like, I made mistakes in my coaching. I made mistakes in my training. I made mistakes in my business. Like, but I learned from that. And like, you guys helped me get through that. Like you helped me through that change and that understanding. And so I'm forever grateful for that, because like, if it wasn't for the relationship that we had, then it wouldn't have worked.
And also like you pointed out, like, Jeff has a very high, intense profession. We all have different things in life. Yes. So also, which are maybe different at your life and the way you train as an athlete. Yeah. And that takes a minute, to get all these different people on board, that they have life and they have to balance kids and college and jobs. Right. So I don't see it as a mistake. It's just like, along the way you cater to us, and it takes a minute to figure it out that, although it's an online coaching program, you do customize it for each of us, which is something that you perhaps don't get on many others, No. You get this, this is week 3 and this is what you do, this is a base week and blah, blah, blah. But if I was nevertheless on the week 3 of a base, whatever, and if I wasn't feeling good, or if I had a problem, or if you will, you modify.
100%.
So it's quite personalized, even that it's an online. So I think for your money, you get a lot of,
Thank you. And I think
which is important.
It's so important. And I think it's hard because like I've tried to do non-customized programs. I can't offer them because that's not my heart.
Yeah.
My heart is to like adjust. It's not my thing.
And if you want that, I mean, you can go to any training platform.
You go to Training Peaks. Yeah.
But I don't think, unless you have a lot of experience, like in 2012, I coached myself, but I mean, it was for different reasons. But I did have a lot of Ironmans on me, and this was one I already did many times.
Right.
But I think, you know, unless you have a lot of experience, I think it's always better have somebody that a second set of eyes in you. You know, some people don't need a lot of feedback. Like, I don't need a lot of feedback at this point. If I'm doing what you told me to do, it's fine. If I did something very wrong or very good,
I would tell you. Exactly.
Yeah. But
exactly.
then on a daily basis, I don't need the cheering squad. No. But other people do like that. But you definitely need like a second set of eyes. Like, for example, you know, I have been sick for so long, trying to get better while training. I mean, you need somebody that is there and that can modify that. Yeah. You know, they understand that you are not at your full potential and things cannot be accomplished as you did before. So that is why
I think, and I think too, like there's some people that need that community, that need that group, that like Mark Cerrone has an amazing group in San Antonio. He's got the Paragon training and it's a big group. He does an amazing job. And so I will actually tell people like, hey, that's not me. Go to Mark, like go to Mark. Well, but if you want to go in, get your stuff done, like you have a life, you have family, kids, a high paying like job, like Jeff, like not paying, but stressful job, like
stressful job.
Everybody's different. Yeah. Everybody's so different.
I agree. That is what I'm saying. Like when you are deciding to get a coach, like it's like it's a both way interview. You need to see if you're 100%. Matching. Because I live in a beautiful place that is the middle of nowhere. Plus, I don't like people that much. So
Anna, it's true. Right. No, I get it. I get it.
But I mean, I know I do like people, but you know, you have your time.
No,
you work out at 5 a.m, you know, and also when you get a little more competitive, you know, I mean, I like people, but those bike rides, you know, it's 20 people, they get punches on, you know, the wheels are not going, or they want to stop for the Coke. No, if I say 5 hours, it's 5 hours all out on the train, whatever I do. So that wouldn't be a good system for me. Yeah. So, but it's some people, like I say, that they need that, you know.
They need that group thing. Yeah.
They need that group thing, but I don't.
I'm with you. I'm the same way. Well, and that's why you and I had Brandon for so many years. Brandon Marsh, he was, oh my God, that man, like, what he's done for me and what he's done for you, it's been amazing. Like Brandon him and his wife are pro, and he just knew how, we just meshed. So anyways, I learned so much from Brandon.
Yeah. And well, Brandon, like I said, Brandon was your coach. He's coaching me now. And I mean, if anything for me, of course he can make me cross the finish line very well, just like you do, you know, it's no different in that stuff, but he has been very good at helping me while being sick. They personally went through illness. So he has been very compassionate and helping me to like, don't take this so seriously, you know. Right. We will get you there. You will get better, you know. And so that was good for the partnership.
Good. So here's another question. What have you taken away with your training and racing? And now how do you apply it to everyday life?
Well, one of the main things is like, man, I'm so damn powerful. I mean,
it's true.
When I put my mind into something, like, you know, I can accomplish it. Now I know that I can accomplish. Now I can say, well, I'm not sure. No, I mean, I can do it if I really, you know, apply myself. So that is one thing about just like the funny way I started doing triathlon. So I think I took that from other things. Now I have like a self-confidence, like, well, it can be, it might be difficult, it might not be pretty, but that it does something to your self-esteem, not like an ego thing, but like, okay, I am capable of doing this if maybe I push harder, and that goes to everything in life, you know, not just forget about exercising. So that is one of the things. I also realized that, man, I have more self-discipline than I ever thought. Which I don't think it was the muscle that I always did everything, but when you do Ironman, and we talk about this many times before, you can expect, like, you have to put the work, and it's self-discipline, because you don't have accountability body that will come and say, oh, come on, let's go for a ride.
Come on.
No, nobody comes at 4:30 in the morning.
So true.
So you have to really develop this, you know, you are on your own, and you need to get up and you need to get to do that thing. So, so that is something that I don't think I exercised that muscle before that, but now it's just second nature. And then I mean the mind. I mean, it's, you know, even now that I have been sick for a while, I mean, the Ironman has done wonders from my mind. Like that, my mind is strong. Like I have been working out that muscle, you know, those hours and hours on the bike, the hours and hours running. You want it or you don't want it. You like it, you're happy, you're unhappy, it's hot, it's cold. And I think when you are going through a little bit of trouble, I apply that mindset, like one foot in front of the other, and we need to get to the finish line. So that is something that I take, that, and also like the friendships and racing give you other things, like, you know, meeting all these people, you know, making friends. So that also is priceless too.
Good. I like that. I like that. And I have to give you props. If everybody looks behind Anna, she painted that. Like that's her design. Like it's like, you're so talented. Like all of a sudden, like you started doing this stuff, and I'm like, but I knew back in the days you used to make jewelry.
Yes.
So it's that creative side, which is beautiful. It's amazing.
I've been always an artist. It's just like, again, I come from what people will call a third world country. So being an artist is just a very hard thing to do if you want to eat. So it's just harder, and also it can get very expensive out there. So but it was always in me. I think my dad was an artist actually. So I decided to start, you know, doing my drawings and also that, and also is something about the Ironman, because I know I am at the end of my Ironman, and I know I said that many times before, and I wanted to retire. And
you did.
And I'm 45. I mean, it's people that are 100 and they still do it, but I don't see myself doing that. But I know during the pandemic that, you know, I trained for 3 Ironmans that never happened. Right. And I was thinking, well, it has to be something more than just filling my days training for Ironman. And I'm at the end of the Ironman thing, and I want to know, well, what else can I do? You know, what is my other thing, my next chapter per se? Right. And I thought that I needed to focus on my creative, the creative part of my life, and it's really what I like to do. I just love it, and so, you know, still getting ready for Ironman Arizona, hopefully, but I think this is my next step. And
people can go to annavoss.com.
It's annaliavoss.net. Because somebody in China bought the .com.
Oh man, that's awful.
It's okay, but it's annaliavoss.net, and I have a lot of it's southwestern style, but quite modern palette. So it's doing well. So I'm going to be in galleries, and it's exciting. It's like a new chapter. It's really like a new chapter, and it helps you transition from one thing 100% to other things, just refocusing the passion to something else.
Right. Sort of like what I've done, you know, like when 2020 shut down, like I wrote the book, I started writing. I'm like, that's my creative side. Like I love to write. I will write on, you know, like I write every day just to get thoughts out of on paper. I'll write poems, I'll write stories, you know, and that's my creative side. And I actually thought, I'm like, I think I need to write book number 2, but I have to self-publish it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people go that route now.
Yeah. So, okay, last question.
Yeah, last question.
And you know my tagline, if you remember my tagline. So in your races, were you able to cross the finish line with a smile?
Yeah. Yeah, all
Yeah.
the races, even the bad ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's an accomplished. I mean,
Yeah.
even the
Good.
ones that you don't feel like it or you're hard on yourself, still is an accomplished. And you know, Ironman has the best marketing ever, because if you do it once,
Right.
you do it once. I mean, I don't know if anything is possible, but if you make it to
Right.
that last 100 meters and you can hear
God,
that
girl.
guy screaming your name,
Mike Riley. Oh,
I mean, that is why people keep paying to do one more, because sometimes I tell people that is the closest you will ever feel like a rock star, you know, when they are like in a Wimbledon, you know, and they come out and the people roar, you know. It's just,
it's incredible.
That is what they sell, is that feeling, and you keep going, and it becomes addictive, because I mean, you
100%.
you suffer all that day, no matter your level, you know, your level of fitness. You will suffer all day for that last 100 meters that you can hear, and people are high-fiving you, and you are. It's like pure joy that you cannot experience, I think, in almost anything else of your life. Because even with your kids, you are joyful, but then you think, oh my gosh, I had to take care of these little things. And it's just pure joy. It's like out of your mind.
Yeah. And I think that's why I loved it for doing it for so many years. Well, one, I wanted to get to Kona, but two, like I would go on the bike and I wouldn't have this thing with me. I would go for my run. I wouldn't have this thing with me. I would step away from the world. Like it was me and the world. And then when you'd go race, it was you and the world. It was just you and all your 2,000 friends surrounding you, you know, and we were all on that same path, on that same goal. And I think that's just the beauty about, you're right. Ironman has sold a feeling. You're so spot on. They sold a feeling.
I mean, I know they have a tagline, but when you do it that is what you keep paying for that last 100 meters, which I always tell people, don't run fast. You didn't do it before. That is why it took you so long to finish the damn thing. Slow down, high five, everybody, take a nice picture, get a video of you, like, no point to like sprint the last 100 meters, because we know you haven't been running that fast.
You've been walking too,
I mean, we saw you walking, so like, just take it on, like that is the best part. You have to take it all in, high five everybody that puts the hand out. You're not going to win it. I mean, just take it all in.
That.
But
I love that.
That is what they sell, the feeling.
100%. 100%. Well, thanks for jumping on with me. Thank you for encouraging me to sort of relook at, like talking to y'all have really brought back a lot of amazing feelings. And I think for a long time, I was very negative towards Ironman and triathlons. And now it's,
which is for somebody that has been in the industry for so long as you have, and you have done so many Ironmans to get yourself to Kona. It's a natural burnout, but as a client, as an athlete, as a friend, I will always recommend anybody that wants to do one to do it with you. Because I mean, you are very compassionate. Also, you're pretty good. This is an online coaching system that you offer, but you are very on top of everything. You put something on Training Peak, we get an answer from you. So you are not on your own with you, you know, like,
thank you.
You follow up with people. I really think you are a great coach. And I mean, you take people that have absolutely no talent to cross the finish line. So I am a testament of how
you are.
Because you did take somebody that have absolutely no knowledge of how to swim, bike, or run, and it took us about 18 months or so. And we finished Ironman Arizona, and we finished well. I mean, we finished well, like other people. We finished well.
We finished well. Yes,
we finished strong the first one. So I think you are a good coach for those people that don't, you know, that they cannot afford like a personal coach, like
right.
seeing you every single day, or living a location that you cannot go and meet with people, or you have a life and you have to train at 5 a.m. But you still can provide them with so much feedback and support, texting, or you are always there, so
thank you.
So I think that is pretty nice for a coach.
Super. Well, thank you, Anna. I appreciate you as my athlete, as one of my OGs. I appreciate you, but mostly I appreciate you as one of my dearest friends who have always been so supportive of what I've done, even living in Costa Rica right now. So
we got to go out there. Just
you need to come visit
triathlon or something.
Well, I'm working on that.
A race vacation.
A race. Trust me, I'm working on that. So
we go to Costa Rica. Okay.
That'd be great. All right. As you would say, besos.
Besos. Yes. Roll your R. Costa Rica.
Girl, I can't roll my Costa Rica. I cannot roll my R's. But all right. Well, thank you again, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Besos.